Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We Educate AR brings you the weekend quiz to keep you sharp with current affairs and exam prep. Make sure to like the video and subscribe before we begin. It really supports the channel. Let's jump straight into the first question. Consider the following statements regarding AI companies like OpenAI and Anthropic. 1. They are hiring chemical and weapons experts to enhance offensive military capabilities. 2. Concerns have arisen regarding misuse of AI in autonomous weapons and surveillance. 3. The US Department of Defense has already been using AI for modeling battle scenarios. Take a moment. And the correct answer is option B, 2 and 3 only. Now understand this properly. The first statement is incorrect because these companies are hiring experts to understand risks and prevent misuse, not to build offensive weapons. The second statement is correct. Concerns around AI in surveillance and autonomous weapons are very real. And the third statement is also correct. The US Department of Defense is already using AI for simulations and decision-making models. Now moving on to the next question. With reference to the Aravalli Hills, consider the following statements. 1. They extend from Gujarat to Delhi in a southwest to northeast direction. 2. They are among the youngest mountain ranges in the world. 3. Guru Shikhar is the highest peak of the Aravallis. Think about it. And the correct answer is option A, 1 and 3 only. Statement 1 is correct, that is the correct geographical alignment. Statement 2 is incorrect, the Aravallis are actually one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. Statement 3 is correct, Guru Shikhar is the highest peak. Next question. The recent controversy regarding the definition of Aravalli Hills is significant because 1. It may open large areas to mining activities. 2. It could exclude a major portion of the range from environmental protection. 3. It is related to classification under UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Take a second. And the correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. Changing the definition can allow mining and construction in previously protected areas. It can also reduce environmental safeguards. But there's no connection with UNESCO here. Alright, next one. With reference to the three-language formula in India, consider the following. 1. It was recommended by the Kothari Commission. 2. It mandates English, Hindi, and Sanskrit as compulsory languages. 3. It is reflected in the National Education Policy 2020. Think about it. And the correct answer is option A, 1 and 3 only. It was indeed recommended by the Kothari Commission and continues in NEP 2020. But Sanskrit is not compulsory. The third language can be any Indian language. And here's the next question. Consider the following statements regarding Schedule 8 of the Indian Constitution. 1. It lists officially recognized languages of India. 2. It currently includes 22 languages. 3. Languages included in this schedule are used only for official parliamentary proceedings. Take your time. And the correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. It lists recognized languages and currently includes 22. But these languages are used far beyond Parliament, including education and administration. Let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding uranium enrichment. 1. Natural uranium mainly consists of uranium-238. 2. Uranium-235 is used as fuel in nuclear reactors. 3. Centrifuges are used to separate isotopes based on weight. Take a moment. And the correct answer is option C, 1, 2 and 3. All statements are correct. Natural uranium is mostly U-238 while U-235 is the fissile component used in reactors. Enrichment increases the proportion of U-235 and centrifuges help separate isotopes based on mass. Now moving on. With reference to light water reactors, consider the following. 1. They use ordinary water as both moderator and coolant. 2. They require enriched uranium as fuel. 3. They are less common than heavy water reactors globally. Think about it. And the correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. They do use normal water and require enriched uranium. But they are actually the most common reactors globally, so statement 3 is incorrect. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding the World Happiness Report. 1. It is published by the United Nations alone. 2. It uses the Cantrell ladder method to measure life satisfaction. 3. Finland has ranked as the happiest country multiple times. Take a second. And the correct answer is option A, 2 and 3 only. It is not published by the UN alone, multiple organizations are involved. But it does use the Cantrell ladder, and Finland has repeatedly ranked at the top. Alright, next one. Which of the following factors are associated with higher happiness rankings? 1. Low corruption. 2. High life expectancy. 3. High GDP alone guarantees higher happiness. Think about it. And the correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. Low corruption and higher life expectancy both contribute to better quality of life. But GDP alone does not guarantee happiness, that's a common trap. And here's the final question. With reference to the relief scheme, consider the following statements. 1. It provides risk coverage for exporters affected by geopolitical crisis. 2. It is implemented by the Export Credit Guarantee Corporation of India. 3. It is only applicable to large-scale industries. Take your time. And the correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. It supports exporters facing global risks and is implemented by ECGC. But it is not limited to large industries, MSMEs are also covered. Alright, that's it for today's quiz. How did you do? Be honest, full marks or still improving? If you enjoyed this format and want more UPSC-style quizzes, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your suggestions in the comments. Your feedback really helps us grow and improve. We Educate AR will be back again with more weekend quizzes, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.